to work and Liz Truss on the international stage at the UN General Assembly in New York, ready to meet President Emmanuel Macron after she appeared to question Britain's friendship with France this summer. Inside, all smiles.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But at the very top of the Empire State Building, the questions turn to the cost of living crisis back home and a suggestion of a controversial plan.
How does uncapping bankers' bonuses help anyone other than bankers?
Well, what the focus of this government is increasing growth in the economy. And I'll be looking, and the Chancellor will be looking at every measure we can take. And of course, some measures will be unpopular. Of course, there will be vested interests that oppose them. Of course, it will be difficult.
What vested interest would oppose uncapping bankers' bonuses?
I'm making a general point that the British economy has not been growing fast enough since the financial crisis, and that has a cost to everybody.
As well as looking at bankers' bonuses, the government will reverse a national insurance rise and keep corporation tax low this week, ideas that critics say benefit the most wealthy.
But it is politically risky. It will make you look like you're on the side of the very richest.
But we've been in a situation for decades where we've had low growth, partly because people have not been prepared to take unpopular decisions.
You've been in government for 12 years, and you in particular have been in the cabinet for 8 years. And corporation tax has been low in that period. We haven't seen a huge spike in business investment.
Well, when corporation tax was reduced, we did see more revenue coming into the exchequer. We just had a very difficult situation with COVID that had a massive economic effect on the world, and we now need to bring in that investment to get our economy going, and that is what I am focused on.
And that focus is Liz Truss's big gamble on growth, a plan she believes will help everyone in the long run, but she knows people are suffering now.
I recently met a pub owner in Yorkshire called Stephen Hay, who told me that energy bills mean that he wakes up frightened and goes to bed frightened. You've talked about support for business for 6 months. Is he on his own after that?
What I can say is that for businesses that are vulnerable, who don't have the wherewithal to create their own, to invest in their own energy supply, we will be providing support in the longer term. And that does include businesses like pubs.
So that is more money for pubs and other businesses alongside more money for consumers. With lots more borrowing and more tax cuts, what would the Prime Minister cut? Nothing, it turns out.
With a faster growing economy, we can afford to spend on the public services that we all rely on, like the National Health Service, at the same time as enabling people to keep more money in their pockets. And that is what
Your critics would say that doesn't add up, but you believe it does.
To deliver. It does deliver,
okay.
And all the evidence is that low tax economies are higher growth.
The question of whether Liz Truss is right on that economic argument will now dominate the political landscape until the next election and could be make or break for her premiership. Anushka Astana, News at 10.